Support provided by Walters, Papillon, Thomas Cullins, LLC, specializing in business litigation and personal injury cases for over 40 years.
And thank you, Todd Sterling, for that introduction. Todd represents the best of small business enterprise here in our city and parish. And if you ever need his services, I highly recommend him. So, did you say the check was in the mail? So what a difference a year makes. Actually, what a difference 738 days make. That's how long I've had the honor of serving as your mayor president. And before it's all said and done, I will share some more important numbers for you to remember, including the numbers 500, 40, 19, and 20. No, I promise you this is not Broome bingo. I want to acknowledge the council members who are in attendance here today. Barbara Freiberg, I saw her. Councilwoman Barbara Freiberg, Councilwoman Donna Collins-Lewis, and Councilwoman Shauna Banks. Would you celebrate them for their service to our community? I also want to acknowledge my husband, Marvin, who Todd shared with you a few minutes ago. He's a great guy to have for a husband. That's all I can say. And also our daughter, Sarah. I want to thank them both for being here today and for their ongoing unconditional love and support. I know many of you all think that I am the consummate wife and mother, but how many of you all know sometimes I get in a space that may not be too attractive as a wife and they love me unconditionally. So I thank them so much for that. And thank you to the Rotary Club for hosting the State of the City address today. I returned to the Rotary this year to talk about our State of the City. Now, while this format is a little different from what we did last year, no worries, because the State of the City is coming to a location near you. That's right. For the next 4 weeks, I will be on tour giving the State of the City January 17th at the McKinley Alumni Center, January 22nd, French Truck Coffee, February 5th, Jones Creek Cafe, and February 6th, Southern Grind Cafe. And our primary focus in those meetings will be flood recovery, education, the arts, and the quality of place. The truth of the matter is there's so many great things happening in our city and parish, I just couldn't tell it all today. So for over a year now, you've heard me reiterate time and time again my vision for this city and for this parish, that we will be a city of peace, prosperity, and progress for everyone. Hopefully, most of you all have united with me around this vision. When we elevate our minds and our hearts in one accord around a shared vision, it inevitably becomes reality. And so today, I want to take stock of 2018's accomplishments and look forward towards the future against the backdrop of our vision. You will be able to view a comprehensive list of our 2018 achievements online.
I like to move it, move it. I like to move it, move it. You like to move it. I like to move it, move it. I like to move it, move it. I like to move it, move it. You like to move it. I like to.
That's become my theme song right now. Yeah, I like to move it, move it. Talk about progress for our city Advancement, gain, momentum, improvement, and movement. Can you say move, EBR? That's what I'm talking about. Last month, 61% of voters said yes to moving East Baton Rouge Parish forward. They said yes to over 70 projects that will build new road capacity. They said yes to increasing mobility throughout our parish. Yes to community enhancements that will improve the appearance of East Baton Rouge. And yes to traffic management software, bringing us into the 21st century. Yes to 3,000 new jobs for greater opportunity and economic outlook for our parish. But most importantly, you voted yes on improving the quality of life. While our road projects consist certainly of physical infrastructure, this billion-dollar investment creates many intangibles for our citizens that will be realized in the years to come. So we anticipate announcing the RFQ for a program manager this month. And the hiring of a program manager will take place around the time that the tax begins to be collected in April. And we'll work to prioritize many projects on the list so that we can get these projects moving and underway in a short term. And one of the improvement drivers that you can look forward to is the upgrade and synchronization of traffic signals along major corridors in the parish. That in and of itself will make a big difference for us. And so this broad and bipartisan support that we had for the Move EBR program, you saw it in the commercials, you heard it as people spoke. This broad and bipartisan support for Move EBR left me feeling incredibly optimistic about our potential to collaborate on future solutions to advance our city and parish. The success of Move EBR proves that when we all get together, when citizens work together to address issues of common concern for our parish, great things can be achieved and shared solutions can be crafted. I would like to use this as a model for addressing future issues of common concern that we have. In addition to our Move EBR plan, we are collaborating at the local, state, and federal level, and we have the following investments. We have $360 million for Interstate 10 widening, $343 million for enhancements to some of our major tributaries, $63 million in continued sewer upgrades. This is well over $2 billion in infrastructure investment for our citizens. So we are prioritizing infrastructure and leaving behind a legacy for this parish whose positive effects will touch generations to come. But not only did you say yes to infrastructure improvements, you said yes to strengthen our community's response to mental health by supporting the tax for the Bridge Center. This initiative will be a formidable response to those in our community who are experiencing a mental health crisis. Let's talk about progress in public safety briefly. In 2018, we ushered in a new era when Chief Murphy Paul became our Chief of Police for this great city. With Chief Paul's leadership and the improved relationship between the community and law enforcement, there has been an 18% decrease in killings in the city and an increase in our homicide clearance rate over last year. Yes, we have a long ways to go in public safety, but whenever every year shows that our numbers are going down, that is a significant principle that we need to adhere to. I want to thank Chief Paul and the men and women of our Baton Rouge Police Department and our citizens for working together to make those numbers decrease. I believe that with the advancement I certainly believe that with the advancement of the Real-Time Center, coupled with the continued collaboration of the police department and our citizens, I believe the number of homicides in our city will continue to decrease. And I am committed to making sure our police department is advancing 21st century police practices. Our officers participated in more than 300 community events to engage the community in a positive way and to build trust. They're working to better understand the community they serve, and we appreciate them for their tireless work to ensure the safety of all of us. Lastly, we have made advancement as a digital city. We launched our new website last year, replacing a 20-year-old antiquated website, far too outdated to be the kind of digital resource that this community deserves for local government. Today, anyone interested in finding information out about one of our departments or even looking for a job, all you have to do is go to our website and it will be easy to navigate. And our businesses are able to enroll in our vendor self-service portal, which streamlines and digitizes the processes used by vendors to register and do business with the city parish. Last year also marked the first time in the history of city parish government that our departments operated with a formal policy and clear mandate to open their data to the public. So we now rank among the top 5 cities with open data programs in the country. We also became the first municipality in Louisiana to release an open checkbook web platform. Peace, prosperity, progress. Let's talk a little bit about prosperity, expansion, growth, wealth, well-being of our citizens. We recently received the preliminary results of the police officer pay study. We know that our officers are not being compensated in line with their peers in similar cities. This year, I'm going to work with the council, the chief, and the community to make sure we do everything in our power to pay our police officers what they deserve. Some may also recall that we did a study in 2015 before I became mayor. The study found the following areas that needed most adjustments. That was our maintenance workers, our skilled trades, Head Start teachers. And so we are going to work with the council and other stakeholders to lift those wages up. Believe it or not, the lowest wage in 2015 was $7.25 an hour. And despite the changes in 2015, these categories continue to create hiring issues. From an economic development view, East Baton Rouge has many wins in 2019 from a diverse system, industries, adding over 1,100 jobs to the local economy. Last year, we had Ready Shield Solution close on a property on Choctaw Drive in North Baton Rouge, and is set to open a 300-job advancement manufacturing facility in the near future. In addition, ExxonMobil received critical local approval for a potential $500 million, that's B with a B, dollar expansion at its facility and is poised to make an official announcement in 2019. In 2018, Baton Rouge became the first city in Louisiana to be home of Topgolf. I'm finding that everybody loves Topgolf. Everybody loves Topgolf. I'll be right out there with you. This brought in $17 million in investment and added 403 jobs. Downtown continues to thrive with construction, including the 2019 historic Hotel Lincoln renovation and residential units on Eddie Robinson Avenue, and on Florida Street, the Chase South Tower residential renovation of the office tower into mixed use. Downtown is an excellent example of an area that was brought back to life through a handful of thoughtful, concerned individuals who were committed to a vision. And I can see this taking place throughout Baton Rouge. thanks to collaboration with another group of thoughtful, concerned citizens, the North Baton Rouge Blue Ribbon Commission. I am pleased to announce that Open Healthcare Clinic will now expand their services to the former surgical center in Howell Place that has been empty for quite some time. Reviving that building and economically infusing that area. In addition, Capital Area Human Services will be transitioning from the Margaret Dumas facility to the former surgical center at Howell Place as well. I want to thank all of the leaders who see the need to uplift our community by investing where disinvestment exists. Additional work to prosper our community is taking place through our partnership with the East Baton Rouge Parish Redevelopment Authority. Under the leadership of Chris Tyson and the Board of Commissioners, the RDA is leading us towards a more equitable, resilient, and vibrant Baton Rouge with projects such as the Government Street Depot, Ardendale, and the soon-to-be-launched Plank Road Corridor Revitalization Project. Partnerships are vital to achieve the vision of peace, prosperity, and progress. Now, a threat to our prosperity is the issue of blight. In 2017, the city parish demolished 125 structures. This was up from 90 structures in 2016. In 2018, crews demolished 292 structures, an increase of 230% over the last year. And so we are convening citizens to become community partners in the fight against blight. One of our community partners is the Mid-City Redevelopment Alliance, our local chartered member of Neighborhood Works. And in 2019, we will work on providing intensive evidence-based training to develop more resident leaders that can power change in their own neighborhood. So we will implement a Blight Bootcamp. Our first Blight Bootcamp will take place on June 1st. I would be remiss if I didn't say that we had significant results from our Operation Fresh Start, which is now a quarterly program engaging council members and other community organizations in addressing blight in our community. Equally important to the prosperity or well-being of our community are the advancements with our Mayor's Healthy City initiative. And I want our community to prosper and to be in good health even as our soul prospers. Based on the results of the Community Health Needs Assessment, I will lead 4 task forces to address the top 4 priorities for our community for the next 3 years. These priorities include healthy living, behavioral health, HIV, STI, and access to care. In addition, you probably heard a lot about our Move with the Mayor campaign, something about movement and this mayor. I will tell you that we have been all over the city and parish at hundreds of events, riding bikes, climbing walls, walking, running, you name it, I've been there. In fact, one of my most intense experiences was a gym class at Westdale Elementary School. That gym teacher worked me. She had me on the floor doing push-ups and everything else. I've never worked so hard. But I'm trying not to only just talk the talk, I'm trying to walk the walk too. And so I don't know if you all have noticed, but there's been a little change in my weight since I was here last time. 34 pounds lighter, 35 pounds lighter. And so in addition to pinpointing the major health needs of our community this past year, Healthy BR was awarded a $1.7 million grant by the Humana Foundation and Blue Cross Blue Shield of Louisiana for the Go Get Healthy program. Thank you, Blue Cross, for that partnership. That's what I'm talking about. Go Get Healthy will make fresh food available at an affordable price and provide educational programs to increase consumption of fresh food in East Baton Rouge Parish. In March of 2018, as I said, I made a commitment to myself that I would live a healthier lifestyle. And this year, I plan to double the number of exercise groups, clubs, or just a group of friends who want me to come over and move with them. While we're making significant strides to prosperity, we cannot ignore yesterday's headline from the business report. More than half of Baton Rouge households struggle to afford basic needs. In 2018, I visited with 16 different companies in Baton Rouge. In addition to discussing many instances of public-private partnerships, we also identified their workforce needs and their challenges. In 2019, my administration, under the leadership of the Employ BR program and other stakeholders, will develop a master community workforce plan to assist individuals living in poverty find a pathway to financial stability. We will give an update on this plan in June. I close my focus on prosperity with the number 500. Remember that number? Did you all write down those numbers? 500. That's how many youth I plan to employ this summer through our Mayor's Summer Youth Program. The adolescent years are a critical time for engaging young people in meaningful activities that help develop valuable skills and knowledge that will benefit them for the rest of their lives. The Mayor's Summer Youth Employment Program will give youth ages 14 through 17 the opportunity to earn income while engaging in valuable educational and work experience. This experience will give them an opportunity to not only engage in the real world of work, but also provide them with multiple educational and professional development opportunities that set the foundation for future employment and academic success. Now, each year since I've taken office, I've worked to increase the slots from the previous year. When we started this program, the number was less, probably just about at 100. And this past year, we increased the numbers. It's time we get those numbers up. 500 young people against the backdrop of 450,000 people in this parish is just a smidgen of touching our young people, but it's such a valuable investment. We have to make it. Now, this is the other side of this coin. I don't have the money to do this right now, but guess what? The chamber took us to Cincinnati and on a canvas trip, and one of the main themes of that trip was the value of public-private partnerships. So I believe that in this Rotary Room today is enough money to fund these 500 young people for our summer youth program. Can I get one clap on that? You know, I have a mayor's business roundtable, and we meet on a monthly basis. It has been so meaningful, these meetings, and some of you all, I think, in here are part of that business roundtable. We talked about last year wanting to advance the number of young people in our 2018 summer program. AT&T was at the table. They stepped up to the plate. They gave $40,000 to put young people in a coding program. It was so invaluable to them. And so I believe that $40,000 here, $50,000 here from your company can certainly help make a difference in our community and in the lives of young people. Peace, prosperity, progress. There are many thoughts that cross my mind when I think of peace. Of course, as I was preparing this speech, Davis Roar, in the backdrop outside my office was the music that surrounds City Hall, and Let There Be Peace was one of the continuous songs that I heard out there. I would say, let there be peace in Baton Rouge, and let it begin with me. President John F. Kennedy once said, "Peace is a daily, a weekly, a monthly process, gradually changing opinions, slowly eroding old barriers, quietly building new structures." If we're going to have a community of harmony and unity and peace, we must remove the walls of us versus them and build we must build on principles of equity. We must develop a Baton Rouge where distress is the exception in neighborhoods and not the norm. And I believe if all of us here in this room, I believe that we all have the power individually and collectively to contribute in some way, some positive way, to make this a better Baton Rouge. You see, Baton Rouge is not about Sharon Weston Broome being your mayor. Baton Rouge is about all the citizens that live here and the quality of life that they deserve to experience, no matter who they are and no matter where they live. I believe if all of us in this room hold fast to being positive about our city and about our parish, it will take us a long way. Let me encourage you, if a peace breaker, and there's a lot of peace breakers out there, they're in a lot of different spheres of influence. You know the peace breakers. They come and they talk about what's wrong in the city, what we can't do, what the mayor's not doing, what the city council's not doing. You know, where are the positives about the city? This is a wonderful city that has a lot of potential. We are unique. We have a unique culture. We have a unique spirit and soul that makes us different than anywhere else in the world. But if a peace breaker says something to you about what's wrong with Baton Rouge, put them to the Rotarian four-way test. Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? Put the peace breakers to the four-way test. I will say this, one of the initiatives I am launching in 2019, because I believe that there's a plethora of good ideas that many of you all have in this room and some outside the room. I'm going to be implementing my 15 minutes with the mayor every Wednesday. If you have a good idea, if you have a proposal, even if you have a little constructive feedback, I'm going to give you 15 minutes to share that with me every Wednesday. Now, there's going to be some established criteria. That doesn't mean you come in my office every week for 15 minutes. That's not going to happen. If you've been there once, you're not coming every week now. We'll establish the criteria. But there will be 15 minutes with the mayor, because I want to hear your ideas. And I don't want you to wait from 6 months from now to share them with me. 15 minutes with the mayor every Wednesday. You'll hear more about that initiative. Remember the numbers 40, 19, and 20 as I close? March marks 40 years ago that my parents and I made Baton Rouge our home. I thought my father's decision moving from Chicago to Baton Rouge was a flawed one at the time. From the moment, however, we made Baton Rouge our home, I loved everything about it. The hospitable people, the hot sun, the good food. And I love Baton Rouge more today than yesterday. And I love being your mayor. I want you to love Baton Rouge with me. In 19, I ask you to join me as we double our efforts and commitment to finish the work that is before us. We must demonstrate a sense of purpose and intentionality in every corner of our city. It's not just about me or the council, as I said. It's about us, all of us. And I firmly believe that together we can co-create the type of city and parish that we desire. 20 years from now, a new generation of Baton Rougeans will ask us, what did you do to build peace, prosperity, and progress for this city? Thank you so much, and God bless you.
Support provided by Walters, Papillon, Thomas Cullins, LLC, specializing in business litigation and personal injury cases for over 40 years.